We knew Jamal Murray would be more aggressive in the second half. But I didn't think he would score 55.
He's making the whole league think again. Jokic was hooping like he went to Ball So Hard University, and anytime you end up on a list with Wilt and Elgin, you had yourself a game, sir. He didn't just drop a double nickel. He had 12 boards and 6 dimes. It was his third 55-10-5 game ever, tied for the second most all time. Yeah. It's your girl, Janelle Gumake, filling in for the one and only Malika Andrews, here with the crew, Brian Windhorst, Danny Green, and Kendrick Perkins. And Perk, what do you think the motivation was behind Jokic's 55-piece lemon wings type of situation?
Yeah, habanero style. Now look, I grew up a Rockets fan. Clutch City, Elijah Warren. I watched him my entire childhood life, okay? And he makes Elijah Warren great games look like regular games, the numbers that he's putting up. He's the most skilled player to ever play the game. I'm not mad at Ty Lue's game plan because Zubac is one of the best defenders, post defenders in the game. He's guarded Jokic better than anyone else in the entire league over the past year and a half. But what happened is that we saw greatness last night. We saw greatness. We saw a guy come into an arena fresh off a back-to-back, going against one of the most elite defenders in the league at the post position and give him that work. Straight business. And so when you think about Jokic and people start to have these conversations of where he ranked, and I'm going to tell you this, he's the best center I've seen in the last 20 years. I know that damn much.
I mean, he is very skilled. There's a young guy that's up and coming that could catch him at some point.
Who?
And I just picked the Wembanyama, and he's a very skilled big as well. And he is on his way. But it is a shame because Jokic, as great as he is and all the things he's doing, I think we're kind of taking it for granted. And he's in that LeBron conversation. I'm sure Wendy will speak about the numbers that he's putting up. And he's just been doing it for half a decade now of being in the MVP conversation. And not only doing it from inside, but doing it from 3. Last year, he was 40+ from 3. His numbers are unbelievable. But because he does it so often and so easily, people are not appreciating or respecting it. 50-point triple-double, any triple-double, I don't think I've ever gotten one in my life. He's getting 50-point triple-doubles and making it look easy, and we're kind of taking it for granted. But, he's a special player, and some could argue one of the best bigs we've ever seen in the history of the game.
Are you going to dive into the numbers?
So I'm just trying to keep some November composure.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything crazy in November. He showed back to me later.
I need you to get out of character.
Jokic is doing stuff. It's wild, man. He's shooting 78% on 2-pointers. 78.
Yeah, that's a high
okay?
number.
He's leading the league in rebounds. He's leading the league in assists, okay? Every 100 possessions that he's on the court, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to try to keep it under control. Every 100 possessions he's on the court, the Nuggets are scoring 151 points. Every 100 possessions he's on the court defensively, the Nuggets are giving up 104 points. That means every 100 possessions he's out there, the Nuggets are outscoring the opposition by 47 points. Okay? And I want you to, I know, and we're about to talk about Oklahoma City, because I'm not taking a single thing away from Oklahoma City. Denver has a man who is playing at the absolute peak of his powers. And so nothing can be taken away from him. And Denver has the number 2 defense in the league. Look out. These numbers that he is doing these are Wilt Chamberlain-esque numbers. I wasn't alive for Wilt Chamberlain had these numbers. You hear about these seasons. Wilt averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever. And you're like, I don't believe any of that. He's doing Wilt Chamberlain type stuff now. I know we're 11 games in. I got to calm down.
I got you. I got you.
Let me say this to y'all, though, seriously, that you point that out. He's also happy, right? He seemed like he's in a happy place. Last year, we saw a lot of frustration, right? And so when you see certain players, and I'm not taking a shot at Russ, I'm just stating the facts here. Michael Porter Jr., right? And then all of a sudden you bring in team guys, Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown. All of a sudden now we're seeing a more energetic Jokic and a better Jokic, which is scary as hell.
And Perk, you mentioned something on our call yesterday. You
I did.
said, and it's hard to move you
mentioned
off
a
your
lot.
positions, literally and figuratively, but you said the most important position the last few years is the wing. Have you changed your mind?
Yes, the most important position now is the big, it's the center position, right? Because you got to battle all these centers, right? You look around the league, we having all these young guys, Jokic, Şengün,
And who else?
Jalen Duren,
Victor Wembanyama. Hello.
He's leading the league in assists and rebounds. He's playing wing and center.
Yeah.
And let's talk about
Center.
playing every position. Steph Curry was in San Antonio, Wembanyama and the Spurs. Now, Steph, my gosh, talk about a bounce-back game. But first, Victor Wembanyama with the O board here. Look at the stride, Wendy, just to get to the basket.
Stride, that's a journey for most people.
That's a great leap. Wembanyama had 31 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists in the game. But Dre actually stepped up in a huge way because he had this matchup. He's 6'6", going up against 7'5". What did you admire about his defense, Wendy?
Well, you can't beat higher. You can't be higher than him, so you have to beat him lower. Watch Draymond get low on him. You can move gravity as tall as he is, and Draymond knows that. And Draymond came in with a game plan, and he executed it.
He absolutely did. Draymond Green, plus 15, went on the floor last night. Just effective in disruption, and you get a dap up from your coach when you are that effective. Now let's head to the third quarter. The Warriors were down 9. Steph Curry would have what I'd like to call, we've heard it many times, a flurry, Wendy.
I don't know where this ranks, but it felt impressive, especially considering they've been struggling. They're coming on the second night of a back-to-back. Draymond called some guys out the night before. Steph paid that off.
Yeah, he was going from deep, and he was knocking it down. When you see that type of emotion from Steph Curry, you know it's going to be most likely his night. Dancing in the middle of the paint.
How did he get there?
Going through traffic. I don't know. He nimbled his way through. Steph, huge night. Here, off ball, moving around the floor. Now this is teamwork. You're talking about team basketball, Perk.
2 for $1.
Sit down. The Warriors win by 5. Now, after the game, Steve Kerr called Steph Curry the son of the Warriors solar system. What did you see from him in that third quarter, Danny Green?
I mean, just excellence. We've seen it for 15 years now. I think year 17 for Steph. But he's so smart, and this is a tough matchup for San Antonio. Excuse me, Jokic didn't have a triple-double. Wemby did have a triple-double, but he was less effective from the defensive end because you got so much running around the perimeter. Steph realizes there's overload on one side, cuts through the paint, making Wemby be the guy to match up with him, gets open space, knock down 3. You got to get Wemby out there, try to get him active on the perimeter. So Steph did a great job with that. This is what impressed me the most about Steph. He didn't just kill him from 3. He did a lot from 2. He was only 5 for 16 from 3. But coming off these pin downs, De'Aaron Fox, only third game back, got to be more locked in. Comes off the pin down, you got to communicate, got to switch. They didn't get the switch. He gets an easy deuce. Looked like nice little off the glass bank shot. Got to call it, easy money.
Now, Danny, we have, though, Perk, seen this movie before when Steph is scoring. You know that Draymond feels like he's scoring too. Yeah. But honestly, it gives him confidence on the other end. Draymond was in his bag. What did you see?
He was in his bag, and he's the heart and soul of this team. And to you box score lovers and you people that hate on Draymond, this is why he's one of the best defensive players of all time. Because it doesn't have to show up in the box score. Look who he is guarding. Look at the fight. Look, he is guarding Victor Wembanyama, 7'7" alien. Look at him contest this to cause one of Victor's 1 of 8 turnovers. Here we are again, staying connected, communicating the pick and roll. Nice hedge right here, right? Giving this guy time, recovering back to stop the drive on Victor. Look. Check this out. Another turnover, right? Caused by Draymond Green. Touching him up early. Still communicating. Okay, he catches the ball. Look, give him space. Look at the contest by Draymond Green, right? That forced another turnover. So again, to you box score watchers, Draymond Green, his impact on the game is not going to show up in the box scores, but when you watch the damn game, you see his value on what he brings to this Golden State Warriors team.
So on one side, Steph Curry, 46 points, explodes in the third quarter. And then on the other side, Draymond's signature defense. Like fine wine, Steph Curry is aging like what, a fine Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon? I hope I got that right. Steph got his 43rd 40-point game since turning 30 years old. The only player who has more after the big 3-0 is Michael Jordan. Now, it's crazy that the Warriors' performance made the Spurs double, triple doubles between Wemby and Castle be the sub-headline. But Brian, how would you grade San Antonio's performance, albeit in a loss?
Okay, so San Antonio obviously has a lot going for them. They are, taking huge strides forward. They came into this game 8-2. They're way up there in the standings, but they still have some issues with their roster they got to work on. Primarily, they don't shoot the three-pointer that great. And so in this game, and I know you're not going to outshoot Steph, but they get outshot by 7 threes in this game. They're in the bottom 10 in three-pointers made, and that's why Wemby has been kind of shooting a little bit more threes. And then, if he's having a night where they're keying on him and he's got 8 turnovers, they got to take the ball out of his hands a little bit. They, if it's not working for him, they got to take some of the pressure off of his plate.
I will say that they do look good. I agree with Wendy. It's an anomaly to see Jimmy Butler to hit 5 threes. He hit 5 threes last night. Moses Moody, they got it. Al Horford, time and time again, and obviously Steph, tore him apart in that third quarter. He got it going, but mostly from the mid-range. But I like what they're doing in San Antonio. We got to get De'Aaron Fox more in the rhythm and be more aggressive. I feel like he's playing to fit in, and that's kind of causing his be less aggressive. They need him being more aggressive. When they get Dylan Harper back, they're still getting guys healthy. But I like what I'm seeing. They're still young. They need experience, but it's going to take some time.
But Perk, do you think that the Spurs are ahead of schedule?
Look, I think the Spurs are going to make the playoffs, okay? I think you got to grow, right? We didn't see all the guys take that step forward, the elite players, where they get theirs and go through the growing pains of making guys around them better. That's what we're seeing out of Victor, right? Seeing how to play alongside, seeing how to put guys to be in position to play alongside him. That's why we saw the 8 turnovers. De'Aaron Fox was brought in to be that closer. I'm going to give them some grace. You know why? Because De'Aaron Fox is only back. He hasn't been back for, 3 or 4 games. So I'm going to give him a grace, but I'm pretty sure they're going to figure it out. And it's going to be exciting to see that 2-man game once they get that chemistry down between Wemby and D. Fox.
So that was the best of the matchup on the floor. How about off the floor? In case you missed it, prior to Steph's 46-point performance, Steph Curry made one special fan's night, signing his Curry prosthetic and taking a picture or 2.
That's dope.
That is so cute. That is impact, and that is a super fan. Showing some discomfort in his groin area. He would leave the game and not return.
That sucks.
I know.
On your birthday.
I know, on your birthday, that's the worst kind of present. But another present on the other side was his teammate, Franz Wagner, Wendy.
This is Franz's best game so far this year, and the Magic have been warming up, and this was a big moment for them.
Huge moment. And then in the fourth quarter, Brunson drives, shoots the jumper. Knicks got the lead. Big body Brunson. Then, in response, Jalen Suggs catches it on the wing, knocks down the 3. Calm down.
I got this.
Now, later in the fourth, not just a tough loss for the Knicks, but also a tough moment because Brunson drives to the basket, twists his ankle while going for the layup. He would head to the locker room after shooting 2 free throws. The Magic go on to win 124-107. Now, senior NBA insider Shams Charania joining us now for the latest on the status of 2 Eastern Conference All-Stars who had their nights cut short. Now, Shams, what more can you tell us about Paolo Banchero?
Paolo Banchero, an MRI just this afternoon, Sinead, revealed that he has a mild left groin strain. He's going to be out in Friday's home game against the Brooklyn Nets. He may even miss Sunday's game at Houston. But my understanding is this is a sigh of